Good morning, guys. I'm out here with my coffee this morning. I'm just gonna do a little bit of walk and talk for a little bit. I have to get back inside shortly to get some work done. I actually have my very first discovery call this morning for a client here. So I'm excited about that. And it's an exciting project actually. So I don't want to say too much about it just yet, but I'm super excited. So just out here having my coffee and just taking in the morning. And last night, man, it was so crazy. Hearing the coyotes last night, they were just howling and fussing and I'm just laying in bed and I'm just like, oh, I'm loving these sounds. No sign of being scared at all, so it's just good to hear the wildlife and know that I'm safe inside my little cabin. So so today, once I finish my call, probably gonna get some other work done. I gotta update a few clients on things that are some of my Houston clients that I'm still working with. Just landed another client in California. I've been working with her a while now. I've never actually visited her house. It's just a project that I do remotely with her. And sorry, my hair looks really funky, but so it's just a remote project. And so she just signed on for another project with me. So that's great. So yeah, I like staying busy, and with the work going on so slowly here. Sorry, let me fix my mic, fix my thing. With the work going on so slowly here, I like to keep busy with actual work. It's not cold this morning. It's nice. So I don't know where I'm wearing this, but it was cold. So basically, when you wake up early in the morning, it is cold early in the morning, like around 5, 6 o'clock. It's like in the 40s or something, and it just feels real chilly in there. But at night, for some reason, it's not. But I wanted to know if this is happening to anybody who uses their buddy heater on a regular basis. And it's something personal, so please don't judge me. I've always had, growing up, my skin wasn't the best. It runs on my father's side of the family. Most of the women, we have like really our skin, the texture of her skin, like the visual texture, like this touching my skin is soft, but the visual texture doesn't seem to be. It's weird. And but it wasn't obvious or anything. But as I'm getting older, I'm noticing it a little bit. But within the last couple of months since I've been here, I've noticed that my skin is completely dried out. And it's almost like my buddy heater, and I know it's the heater. My buddy heater is cooking me alive, it is what it feels like to me. I don't want to show it, but my hand is dry. My face is so dried out. And my feet, most of all, because my feet is what actually faces the heater mostly, because the way I sleep in bed, the heater is probably about 3 feet, if that, from my bed. I'm very careful though, so to make sure my bed linen doesn't get to it. But it's very close to my bed, and anyways, I run the heater almost every day. Well, I haven't been running it now for the last few days, just because since I discovered that's really what's going on with my skin, I'm trying to avoid running it as much. Now, I don't run it during the daytime. I just run it at night to sleep. And I usually have it on low, except when it gets super cold, I'll put it on high. But yeah, that thing has been cooking me alive. And I bought a humidifier. And so I have one in there right now. But I always had like a bucket of water sitting there. So just to kind of help, because somebody mentioned that to me at the very beginning of my YouTube channel. Somebody had mentioned to me to kind of leave out water, because it will, it's dry heat and all that. And so I did. And, but I actually bought a humidifier this time. But yeah, so my body heater has been like messing with my skin and drying it out. And as I'm getting older, that's not a good thing, because it's not gonna go back to normal now. Because my hands did not look like this 2 months ago before I came here. And so I think it's the combination of the heater and just not having great skin from the beginning that's just kind of speaking right now. But anyway, so I just wanted to mention that, see if that's happening to anybody else. Excuse me. Because yeah, it's happening to me. So oh, my EcoFlow battery is low, so I need to go charge it up pretty soon. It's less than 20%. But yeah, I just came out here to have my coffee and just to chit chat a little bit. So yesterday I've been working on my garden, and the garden, I don't want to turn this into a gardening channel now. Gardening is just a part of what I'm doing to improve the homestead, but I feel like I'm doing more work on the garden than I'm doing on anything else. So everything is just kind of on not pause, but they're going through the permitting process and all that right now. All right, just turned on the generator, and let me pick back my coffee back up. So yesterday I was working on the boulder again, and I'm not 100% decided on what I'm doing here, but I'm kind of letting it speak to me as I go. And so far it's just telling me to turn it into like a rock garden. Just leave that rock in as the focal point of it, dig it down a little bit, and then just line it, because I still have a bunch of these small rocks that I'd collected. I don't know if you can see them over there. So I'm probably just gonna line the whole thing in rock, and then just plant, you know, sage and thyme and rosemary, just like those hardy herbs. Yesterday I was able to put in the rest of the fence on that side. I tied in the rest of the fence that was, you know, I tied those two sides. I still haven't tied this side yet, so I have to tie that. And then I put this other little piece right here. So all that's left of the fence is the back, which I still haven't touched yet because I need to trim back those trees. But someone suggested, one second. Someone suggested getting like a tiller, and I actually have a brand new tiller. When I was in Houston, I bought a tiller for my garden, and for some reason never ended up using it. So it's just been sitting in the box ever since I bought it, and so it's in storage. Now I know in the shipping container it's somewhere close to the back of it, but I can't recall where exactly it is. And the dilemma with the shipping container, and I've said it on previous videos, so you guys might already know, but if you're new and wondering why do I keep talking about in storage, is the shipping container. The last time I went to open it, I went to get to look for my EcoFlow that's in there, which I still have an EcoFlow in there, a whole unit, and couldn't find that. But my gardening stuff is towards the front of it, so I know I can get access to my garden stuff. The problem is opening and closing that thing. Now, I was never able to open it myself, ever, even when it was not a problem. And so anyway, so I brought my neighbor with me, and he opened it for me, but then we could not close it. And we went through so much to close it. I'm thinking the hinges are rusted or whatever. I don't know if you guys have ever tried to open and close a shipping container. Okay, it would not close. And he eventually used his Jeep, because he has like a big Jeep. He eventually used his Jeep, and there's like a little piece on the front that sticks out a little bit further than everything else, and that's what he used to kind of push to kind of drive it into the door, to close the door. So, and the reason why I'm so skittish about going to opening and having that problem again is I have all my stuff is in there, and if there's any water that gets in there because we didn't close it properly, or any rodents that get in there, that freaks me out. Just the thought of that creeps me out a little bit. So that's why I'm so hesitant to go in there unless I absolutely have to. Now I will have to very soon. Once the sheetrock is finished, I'm gonna have to go into that storage to get my wood flooring. I have two sets of engineered wood flooring, white oak flooring, beautiful floors. One of them was left over from building my house in Houston. I have several boxes of those, so it should be enough, I'm hoping, to do the cabin, and then I had, that's a lighter white oak finish, and then I have like a dark white, it's also like an oak, but it's not a white oak, I don't know, of a dark one, I think it's also white oak. And that one I had left over from my office build in Houston, and I have several boxes of those too. It tends to get a little bit overwhelming, but the way I've always been is just one step at a time, just one thing at a time. When I'm faced with a challenge or I'm faced with something, I just move towards it and tackle it head on and make just one step at a time, and before you know it, it's over and it's behind me. Yeah, it's like this, even this homestead. I came here knowing that I can't just come throw a bunch of money and finish it all in one sitting, and so it's gonna be like a journey, and so that's why I talk so much about money, because that's what it takes. It takes that. Well, it takes faith. It takes courage. It takes all those things. But ultimately, to get things done, it takes money. Things like my garden. I know it's not going to be perfect, and people may look at it and be like, well, the fence isn't tight enough, or the stakes are too loose, or the stakes are crooked, or whatever. And I'm just trying to get by right now with necessities. I'm not trying to build a fortress over here. Now, yes, of course, I'm well aware that I'm going to have animal pressure, but I feel like just doing it and understand what my specific conditions are going to be is ideally what I need to do. Because I could sit around and I could listen to all of the comments and all of the things about what could potentially happen, and it may never happen. Or, you know, it's good to know and have them in the back of my mind. I'm gonna have rodents and I'm gonna have other things, so it's probably gonna be just experimenting with other things to control that. So, but I could have just sat there and be like, oh well, I'm gonna have deer pressure, I'm gonna have rodent pressure, so I'm not gonna start until I have everything perfect. And like that's just not me. I'd rather start with imperfect and then build on it, and then tweak as I go, and then as resources become available to me, upgrade, than just sit there and wait for perfect conditions, because I find that perfect conditions typically never come. Little plants are coming up, and if you can see them, and they have little purple flowers on them. I have a whole bunch back there, and if you can, let me take a walk back here. So I don't know if this is more trees trying to grow. Tell me what this is if you know what it is, because I don't think it's juniper trees trying to come up. It doesn't look like juniper, at least not to me. I don't know, but they have little purple flowers on them, and there's like a whole bunch trying to come up around here. So I'm hoping it's not like a invasive type weed, because I don't do the invasive stuff, man. In Houston, I had a bunch of invasive grass that I just fought with the whole time. It would take over my garden, and I just did not like that at all. I mean, I almost gave up gardening in Houston because of that Bermuda grass. Okay, I'm taking a walk along the southeast side of my property, and I'm trying to confirm something with my property line. Okay, so there it is. I was looking for where my stake was, because I'm beginning to think through. Yeah, I don't think I've ever taken you guys onto this side of the property. It's not too far, just so you can see context. That's my little shed over there in the distance, and so this is the southeast side of my property. And there's my, see if I can zoom in, there's my marker over there. So I'm starting to kind of think through fencing at some point. I was just kind of thinking through the fence situation. So what I'm thinking I might do at some point in the very near future is fence just the front portion. So from where my stake is over there, fence it, bird. Just run a fence all along the front side of the property just to kind of define that. So I was reminding myself where that stake was because I don't venture over this side very often. And here's this trash that I still need to clean up on my property. So it's just all roofing and like a hose. What's this? Yeah. So, and this is the only trash that was discovered on the property after I bought it. So, I mean, it's still trash to figure out. But yeah, still sitting here after 2 months or however long I've been here. I was talking to someone in the comments about the rocks over here that I love so much. And this is one of the example of what I'm talking about. It's I love the mossy look. So it has the grays and the orange. Sometimes you see like a chartreusey yellowy color, and I just love the look of them. So that's what I try to pull to use in the garden bed. Just look at this one. I just love the colors, and it's so weird as a designer. My eyes always go to color, and so this to me is just wow. Okay, so I decided I'm gonna go ahead and plant some of my onions and garlic, and I may be a little too early for that, I'm not sure, but I'm just gonna go for it. So this is potting mix I bought for starting seeds, but I did not like this potting mix. It's too full of sticks, so I decided to just use them in the beds. So basically just using what I have, because I'm gonna order compost and I'm gonna have a truckload of compost brought in. So that's really what I'm gonna be planting in later. But since I already had this, I thought just go with this. So this is not a instructional video.